Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
I've gotten stuff of what are you looking for. I've also gotten get a job. I've gotten scammers.
A number of people looking for help this holiday season are turning to a risky way of asking for it. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. Whether it's Christmas presents or joining another family for dinner, people in the Valley are posting on Craigslist asking for help. One family tells us they didn't know where else to turn. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson shows us the potential dangers to this new trend and how you can help keep safety in families in need.
Seeking help for, Christmas to get both my kids at least one gift because of my 4 back surgeries that I've had.
Single mom of 2, Dawn Olson, has had one struggle after the next, trying to make ends meet. Last year, they couldn't celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas.
All the money goes to rent and then bills, and then after that, there's nothing left over.
Attempting to make this year different, Olson posted this ad on Craigslist, and there's other families doing the same.
I've seen a bunch on community resources through Facebook. I've seen quite a few on Craigslist looking for help, different scenarios.
One family is asking to be adopted by another this Christmas. I spoke with police who are skeptical of this online trend, saying inviting people into your home that you don't know is an easy way to set yourself up to be a victim. While some of the people online may be legit, police say there are better ways of donating this holiday season.
I'm not one of them, trust me, I'm not. What can I tell you differently than they're already telling you?
Olson says there are scammers out there, but there's also a lot of families in need who don't have many options.
Take the chance to meet someone and hear their story.
Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
If you're in the giving mood this holiday season, we have a list of a number of different places where you can donate Christmas presents. Log on to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story. Stay with us. Later on Valley News Live, we'll tell you why you could be fined if you try bringing supplies to the Dakota Access Pipeline protesters. And we've got the latest on a school lockdown this afternoon in the Valley. But first, Justin, let's talk weather. I know some areas in the Valley got quite a bit of snow. For us, it just felt like a little bit of rain.
Yeah, rain, and now the rain is very slowly transitioning over to snow. We'll end to some snow showers as the system finally gets out of here as we go through the day tomorrow and early on Thursday. Here's a live look outside. Mainly cloudy skies with a mix of some rain, turning over to some snow showers as we speak here in the Fargo area. 36 degrees right now. Wind is north-northwest at 17 miles per hour, so it has become a little breezy since the 6 p.m. news. Now, Moorhead holding at 36 degrees. And the Grand Forks area at 34 under mostly cloudy skies. Now, current temperatures around the region show we're in the lower 30s. Jamestown, Valley City at 30 at Devil's Lake and Langdon, 34 Fergus Falls and Wahpeton, and a 36 out toward Detroit Lakes. Now, the satellite loop, well, first off, here are the weather advisories. Winter weather advisory still in effect for Jamestown down toward Ellendale and now including Brown and Marshall County through 6 p.m. tomorrow because of the snowfall in these areas. And we do have those winter storm warnings for central and western North Dakota. Now, we are seeing a band of some light rain changing over to some snow showers here into the Fargo area as you make your way down toward Fergus Falls and just to the south of Bemidji. We still have that band of some light snow showers that way. Also some snow showers getting started just to the south of Roseau into Langdon and Devil's Lake, but the main batch of the moisture is out toward the Bismarck and Minot area where they picked up 1 to 2 feet of snow. We have this low pressure system continuing to exit our viewing area, but we still have that flow from the north, and we're going to be on the cool side of the system, which means some snow showers for us as the system eventually does start to exit. So there's the snow showers out there as we go through the overnight period and through the day tomorrow. Temperatures will be still a little above normal for this time of year, as we will mainly be into the mid to upper 30s. A high near 37 in the Fargo area. There's your snow shower activity. We keep that northerly wind as we go through the day tomorrow. Elsewhere, we're going to see a high near 31, Devils Lake and Jamestown, and mid-30s as you make your way into Minnesota. Snowfall amounts mainly 0 to 1 inches, we're going to say, in the valley locations. 1 to 3 inches, Valley City up toward Pembina, and more as you make your way further west. Now, extending the forecast as we go through Thursday, the system tapers off. Now, we're back to partly cloudy skies, 34 on Thursday, 30 on Friday, mostly cloudy, 34 on Saturday, 37 on Sunday, partly cloudy skies. Our next chance of some snow showers on Tuesday, as we'll see temperatures near 30 degrees.
All right, thank you. And as mentioned, here's some of that video of snowfall in Bismarck today. The heavy snowfall blanketed the area and just didn't seem to want to quit. Blizzard warnings and travel advisories were also in effect for the second day in a row. I-94 was even closed today from Mandan to Dickinson. New for you now at 9 o'clock, Crookston High School was put into a soft lockdown for a short time this afternoon. Police were called after an incident with a student near the front door of the school around 2:30 this afternoon. The incident lasted about 25 minutes, and Superintendent Chris Bates says the situation was quickly resolved and no one was hurt.
There'd been a situation with a student that got immediately confined and into a limited area. The police came and helped, and an ambulance was called as well. But
so basically, the student was in a combative fighting mood, but no weapon involved?
No weapon, and the student really wasn't in a combative mood. You know, I think it was more a question of safety for that student. And
Bates says a soft lockdown is basically when students are kept in classrooms and are not allowed to leave. Classes resumed as normal. And reports released today say police believe Abdul Razak Ali Artan was the man who attacked pedestrians yesterday at The Ohio State University, was inspired by terroristic propaganda from ISIS. Now, there's no indication yet if Artan acted with any terror group, but evidence points to a lone wolf attack. Investigators are still inspecting his computer and cell phone as they try to determine what led him to the act. Meanwhile, classes resumed today, just one day after the knife attack on campus wounded 11 people. Federal law enforcement say Artan posted on his Facebook page that he was sick and tired of seeing fellow Muslims killed and tortured. And it was an Ohio State University police officer who was close to the scene that shot and killed Artan. Here in town, NDSU has police officers who can use guns to stop attacks on campus. But what about schools who have public safety officers? Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic tells us how schools like MSUM prepare for possible attacks.
When I was a student, I always felt safe on campus. I mean, to me, it's a pretty safe area in general. So I never had any problems or anything on campus.
Small Works is a public safety officer for MSUM and says situations like the Ohio State University attack are always on his mind.
I think about it. I mean, you always got to think about the worst that can happen.
MSUM Public Safety Director Jim Schuman says although officers aren't allowed to use guns, they're well prepared for possible campus attacks.
They take a lot of the same training as what police departments do. We have our officers trained with the police department on different offerings that they have.
In Minnesota, the University of Minnesota is the only school in the entire state where officers can use guns.
All the other schools in the state, public or private, have either campus safety, security, or public safety departments, which are basically non-armed departments.
Each officer at MSUM carries a baton, taser, and chemical spray. Schuman says there is a Moorhead police officer on campus every day in case something does happen.
I think it's beneficial for us, the community here, the campus community, to be able to have them here and able to respond, interact with our staff.
Public safety officers at MSUM and Concordia train with a run, hide, fight method. Schuman says with the quick response time from Moorhead Police, the campus is well protected.
We just plan and train to give people the best options that we have available for them with the resources that we have.
In Moorhead, Giovanna Simic, Valley News Live.
Minnesota State University Moorhead Public Safety says they plan on purchasing vests for officers to keep them safe. If you are caught delivering supplies to the Dakota Access Pipeline protest camp, you could be fined up to $1,000. The site is considered an evacuation area following the governor's executive order yesterday. It says anyone who chooses to enter does so at their own risk, and protesters have been notified that emergency services such as ambulances and fire trucks will not be available under current winter conditions. Nearly 24 protesters were detained during rush hour this morning at a busy Minneapolis intersection. Police took 21 demonstrators into custody near the McDonald's restaurant on Nicollet Avenue in Uptown. Today's demonstration was part of a national effort to support a $15 per hour minimum wage hike for fast food workers. Disruptions and walkouts are planned today in 340 cities from coast to coast. One worker said companies like McDonald's posting huge profits should be able to afford higher wages for their employees. Crash investigators in Colombia have released a photograph of the black boxes from the plane that was carrying a Brazilian soccer team to a South American Championship playoff in Medellin. Of the 77 people on board, 6 survived the crash, including just 3 team members. NBC's Tom Costello reports on the tragedy and what may have caused the crash.
Video and photos from the airport and then the plane are haunting. The young faces of Brazil's Chapecoense soccer club, an underdog dream team, headed to the championship matches. But only hours later, tragedy. Daylight revealed the broken remains of the chartered plane scattered across the hillside outside of Medellin. Slowly, helicopters approached the site to remove the dead. Of the 77 people on board, only 7 were found alive. One of them, 31-year-old goalie Marcos Danilo, died at the hospital, but reportedly called his wife before passing away. Another player had just learned he was going to be a father. In the team's locker room today, 3 teammates who didn't make the trip were in disbelief. Amid vigils and moments of silence worldwide, soccer great Pelé said simply, Brazilian football is in mourning.
Everybody has placed their confidence in God that things will go well for us. Our Chapecoense team will have to go on. It is difficult. It is so difficult to speak.
The plane was a British Aerospace 146, a regional jet with 4 engines used mostly for short-distance flights. But flying from Bolivia into Medellin, the pilot reported an electrical problem and circled before crashing just miles from the airport.
One of the considerations the investigators are going to look at is if the airplane was too low on fuel and because it was right at its maximum range.
A surviving flight attendant told rescuers the plane had run out of fuel.
Reporting accompanying the team on the plane, 21 journalists hoping to cover a fairy tale ending for a team that had surpassed all expectations. A Minnesota pageant contestant is being called a winner, even though she wasn't crowned. But winning was never the most important thing to Halma Adine. Instead, she says it was inspiring others to be their authentic selves. Adine was the first person to compete in Miss Minnesota USA wearing a hijab and a burkini during the swimsuit portion of the competition last night. Since people found out about her story, she's received messages from women all around the world supporting her. Adine went up against 44 other women in the pageant, so to be named in the top 15, she says she's overwhelmed with happiness.
This is a big win for us. You know, I'm the first to do this, and I'm hoping to see more Muslim women, you know, wearing bikinis, being celebrated. So I'm just challenging you to be outgoing and just do your best in everything that you do.
Halima adds that having the courage to stand up and show everyone who she is, that's the beauty she's proud of. Stay with us. Up next, we have a look at this week's restaurant report card. Stay tuned.